Others also. Rotarian Puppu also I had to rename. Kuppu is actually director something, no?
Community service.
DCS.
CSD.
CSD, yeah? Oh, sorry. Right, fantastic. President, I call upon President Rotarian Krishnan to call the meeting to order, please.
Good morning, Rotarians. The special meeting of Rotary Club of Madras, Besant Nagar, jointly being conducted along with the district chair Rotarian Maithili on this peace building and conflict prevention of district RI District 3232. The meeting is called to order. I would now request, I'll hand over the floor to Rotarian Maithili to do the honors of welcoming. Thank you. Unmute.
Thank you. Yes, good morning, one and all. Vanakkam for this beautiful session. I think it's the 6th episode of Bhagavad Gita, which is going successfully. My hearty greetings and congrats to Rotary Club of Madras Besant Nagar, who's taking up this initiative every month, without even me reminding, though they say it is a district initiative, it is actually they are the pioneers who are doing this program month after month on every first Sunday. Thank you. I'm really honored. It's the 6th episode and chapters 11 and 12 about Bhagavad Gita. It's a beautiful, unique initiative. I think in the entire Rotary world, I think Madras Besant Nagar is the only club which I could proudly say who's doing this program. It is not about any religion or anything. It's just about spreading peace. So Bhagavad Gita is spreading peace and justice and telling good things, good values of life and how to live a holistic life. So all about these beautiful messages Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, and I'm happy to have been associated with this prestigious club of District RI District 3232 to spread peace in the world. Thank you. I'm really honored. I appreciate all the members, team members, the president, the secretary, and of course who's doing all the entire work, Arun Kumar, and none other than the Guruji whom I often call, this person with a smile, always Rotarian Dr. PDG, sorry, PG Kuppaswamy. I'm sorry, I called him PDG. Maybe he'll become a DG one day. Thank you, Kuppaswamy ji, for your beautiful message which you are spreading, and without any hesitation and with full of vigor and enthusiasm. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Wish you all good luck. Krishnarpanam. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Maithili. Before I hand over the mic to Arun, I just have one suggestion. Maithili, the district has been coordinating this entire events. At the end of the day, when the 18 chapters are getting over, I just thought, suddenly it struck me, can we bring a small kind of a booklet giving the essence of each of the chapters, just two lines, and that can be released by the DG, and probably it can be circulated to all the members, those who are interested. This is just a suggestion. I thought it will serve as one for all of us. It will serve as a reminder, those who have been attending his session, and those who have not attended also for many reasons, who would like to attend but still they have missed it. Now this small booklet might be a kind of a handy kind of a thing for them. So this is my suggestion to you, Maithili.
Beautiful concept. I thought this actually. We should never miss out. Everything should be recorded because it's a history we are making. I'm very happy. Definitely, we have to do that in the month of June. I think after all the chapters it gets over, definitely we'll have one final session. Where it's like a felicitation. I think we can do. I
Yeah.
think it will be a nice idea. We can definitely wind up this year with a nice felicitation to ourselves,
Yes,
calling DG and other officials. Definitely, we'll do that. Thank you.
I will do that. And in
I would
the
like to
meantime, we
add
can
a kind of
compare.
fantastic idea, President, and thanks for endorsing it, Rotarian Maithili chairperson. See, like Arjuna and our disciple like Arjuna, we are not able to absorb all the richness of knowledge and wisdom that is being told in one session, or even if you hear it, multiple times. So any effort to have it, to experience it at leisure, I believe will certainly go a long way in enhancing and achieving our goal of peace building and conflict prevention. Fantastic idea. I endorse this thing very wholeheartedly, and thank you, Chairperson Rotarian Maithili, for accepting our president request also. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Arun.
And just, I would like to just brief today about the session. We are in episode 6. So I would not take too much time. So, but for rookies like me, just to cover, it looks like as if we just started yesterday. About 6 months back, and we are there, close to 60% of the Bhagavad Gita getting covered, and I'm still struggling to understand the Karma Yoga. So there's a rapid delivery of ideas and information by our master Rotarian P.G. Kupusamy, as his Guruji is been designated Guruji for this series on Bhagavad Gita. He is a professionally qualified engineer of over 6 decades experience, and primarily he has been working with Wavin Group of Netherlands, and currently he is on, he specializes in water and water related solutions, and then he's continuing as a consultant to them also, apart from being a Rotarian of more than a decade with the Rotary Club of Madras Basinagar, and also a past president and a Paul Harris fellow member for the last 4 or 5 years. So he's been kindly consented to get to engage in this experiment of knowledge sharing. So fantastic, Rotarian Kupu. And I would also welcome all other members of the Peace Building Committee, Rotarian Balambal, and other Rotarians who have joined today with us. So today we are going to cover chapter 11 and 12 of the Bhagavad Gita. So we have, out of total 18 chapters, we are more than the mid-range. We have crossed a major threshold. We will be discussing about Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga of 45 verses and Bhakti Yoga of 20 verses. So just to briefly recap, we started with chapter 1 to 6 as from who am I under Karma Yoga, then purification of mind, which will result in consequent peace. And then we also discussed who is he under Upasana Yoga, reduction, resulting in reduction of turbulence in mind and increased focusing ability with consequential peace and happiness. And then now today we are at Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, which is going to be detailed by our Rotarian P.G. Kupusamy, who has got about 5 decades interaction with Bhagavad Gita, having been blessed by Paramacharya in his very young age of 11 years when he was in the school. So I'm fortunate to have be a part of this. So welcome everyone, and over to you, Rotarian Guruji Kupasamy.
I will start my screen share. Is it coming, Arun?
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. I'll do this way. Good morning, Rotarians and guests and all friends. Very, very good morning to you. Happy to be back in communication with you. While starting, I start with a greeting to Rotarian Maithili. Today it is her birthday.
Yeah.
Start with a greeting to her. Let Krishna and Geeta bless her a happy, healthy, peaceful life ahead, so that our community service continues. I'll start with that thing. With that, I will start. Today, we are going to do chapter 11 and 12. The 11 is Vishwarupa Darshana, 55 verses. The thing, and we will go thing. I start with pranams to Swamiji Paramarthananda, from whom I'm attending classes now, learning Gita, Upanishad, etc. All credit goes to him. I am a student sharing with other students. That's how I view it, the thing. And as it's already been mentioned by other colleagues who made the introduction, the Gita can be viewed from 3 angles. I put in different order: a religious angle for prayer, etc., etc., a spiritual angle. Who am I? Who is he? This kind of what's the connection kind of thing, and also a day-to-day worldly angle. The thing. This is all the 3 angles we can see Gita thing. The presentation is more based on our day-to-day angle. How to get my today's happiness and peace. How to reduce my today's conflict. I want to be peaceful. Unless I am peaceful today, how do I get into religious or spiritual or knowledge and all those kind of things? Therefore, I am focusing more on a day-to-day worldly angle for peace and happiness. That's how I am viewing Bhagavad Gita and making this presentation on that angle. So with this, we make a beginning. Totally 18 chapter, 700 verses. General overview of Gita. This is for people who have not attended previous sessions and who have just come now. First 6 chapter, Pradama Shatkam, focus on Karma Yoga, means right action where more people are benefited, along with right attitude. Right action with the right attitude. The right attitude is defined as dedicate all actions to God in Arpana Bhava, dedication to Him, and take all the results as His gift. It's in Sanskrit Prasada Bhava. They think. So this dedication of all actions in Arpana Bhavam, take His gift as Prasada Bhavam, reduces our ahankara, mamakara, etc., etc., and all those kinds of things. This is, I'm getting ready for further steps. So this is the summary of the first 6 chapters, plus who am I? Really, who am I? That is a question. This is the topic covered. Summarizing, I am not the body-mind complex, but I am Atma, the consciousness principle. Tamila Unarvu Tattva. This is the first 6 chapter in nutshell. The second 6 chapter, 7 to 12, where we are now, called Madhyama Shatkam of Gita, focus on Upasana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Who is he? First 6 chapter, who am I? Now I come to know a little bit about me. Then who is he? And Upasana Yoga. And the Upasana Yoga is divided in Ishta Devata Upasana, and then Vishwarupa Upasana, widening the angle and see the whole universe as God. And God as the universe as the God. This attitude we are building. We are in the end, the tail end part of this Madhyama Shatkam now. And Sharma Shatkam, the end 6th chapter, which we are going to enter from next month onward, the Jivatma Paramatma relationship, Jnana Yoga, and virtues, the qualities which we have to develop to understand and gain this knowledge. So these three, this is the approximate division. And let's understand very clearly, Bhakti is an integral part of all these three yogas. It is not a separate part. Everything is Bhakti. Even our breathing is also Bhakti. Then Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga is integrated with Bhakti. Now, in this chapter, we are entering 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, divided in 9 topics. Introduction of what do you mean by Vishwarupa, Ishvara, Vishwarupa Darshana. Arjuna's desire to see Vishwarupa Ishvara, verse 1 to 4. Krishna grants him divine eye, 5 to 8, verse 5 to 8. Sanjaya's description of Vishwarupa, 9 to 14, side topic, this one. Arjuna's description of Vishwarupa with the feeling of wonder, surprise, acharya, 15 to 22. Arjuna's description of Vishwarupa with the second feeling, fear, verse 23 to 30. Krishna's answer to Arjuna's questions about the fear, etc., 31 to 34. Then Arjuna's description of Vishwarupa with the third attitude, devotion, bhakti, 35 to 45. And Krishna withdraws the Vishwarupam and glorification of devotion is 46 to 55. This is how we are going to get 2 important lessons we are going to learn in this chapter. When the slides come, I will highlight the lessons. Very, very 2 important lessons we are going to learn in this chapter. Now, introduction of Vishwarupa Ishvara. We all know Vishwa means world, Rupa means form, God, the thing. Vedas, scriptures present God depending upon the stage of the maturity of the seeker. It is not in one form. Veda also, if you take a different form, chapter, different parts of Veda, it is describing God in different way. It is depending upon the stage maturity of the seeker. In the beginning, for the junior beginners, there is a personal God, Eka Rupa Ishvara or Ishta Devata Ishvara, a personal God whom I am very fond of, whom I like very much, with attributes and forms. This is valid and helps a seeker to make a beginning and grow. My relations with my Ishta Devata is an ideal relationship for bonding. God is conceptualized with all human attributes. A personal God is required in the initial stage. Everyone needs that thing. Then slowly grow to see God as a creator of the universe and see him in the entire universe. See the universe in God, see God in the universe. This is how we grow. For the time being, I will not touch the next step of Arupa Nirguna Ishvara for now. The thing. Ekarupa, Ishta Devata, Vishwarupa Devata. These 2 we are doing now. Now, we are entering the chapter now with this background. Topic 2, Arjuna's desire to see Vishwarupa Ishvara. Verse 1 to 4. With this background, we enter chapter 11. Arjuna says, I have understood that you are the cause of the universe. You are the creator, sustainer, resolver. Sustainer means maintain, resolver means resolution. Therefore, you are appearing in the form of the very Vishwa, the very creation. In fact, there is no creation, no world other than you, as Example, there is no ornament as a substance other than gold. Though we may call it bangle, chain, etc., but it is substance is only gold. Gold lump, bangle or chain or whatever, basically gold, the thing. So God, world is nothing but God. World is like a bangle, God is like a gold lump. So gold, bangle is nothing but gold lump. So world, including us, is nothing but God. I have also understood that whatever glory belong to the creation, what we saw last presentation, Vibhuti Yoga, all the glories legitimately belongs to you alone. This is Arjuna's dialogue to Krishna. But the problem is this: I am not able to enjoy that Vishwarupa Darshana. I am seeing you as a friend Krishna, a cousin Krishna. That's it. I'm not able to enjoy that Vishwarupa Darshana. Something must be lacking in me. Something wrong in my eyesight. Therefore, Krishna, please bless me to enjoy the Vishwarupa Darshana. Is it possible at all for me? Then Krishna grants Arjuna divine eye, verse 5 to 8. Krishna replies, Arjuna, why should I withhold? I will certainly bless you with Vishwarupa Darshanam. I will show you my Vishwarupa, various colors and forms, all the Devatas, Vasu, Rudra, Aditya, etc., 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 all movable, immovable in you. I'll show that to you. But you cannot appreciate it with ordinary eye. The ordinary eye has a limit. It cannot see beyond, I don't know, 30, 40 feet or beyond certain size and all those kind of things. You need a special divine eye, Divya Sakshu. I will not repeat the Sanskrit word again. Divine eye, Divya Sakshu, for that. And then Lord blesses Arjuna with a divine eye. Immediately I want to, let's say, explain. The divine eye has to be understood correctly. It is not like Krishna has taken Arjuna's eye to put a new eye with another power and all these things. No, 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 no. It is an eye. It is a view with which we can see God in everything and everyone in the world. It is the next slide. I will explain that. It means a refinement of our mind and intellect. Rational intellect and emotional mind has to be refined. It is not change of eye, it is a change, mental attitudinal change. To remove all the obstacles in our attitude to see God in the world. We have got a lot of obstacles. I want to see God in this person and that temple, but not on this person, not on that thing. These are all the blocks. It means change of attitude. It means reduction of ahankara, mamakara, I and my. You know, who am I? That kind of attitude to be reduced. And this is mine and this is mine and that's mine. Attitude to be reduced. When you reduce this to ahankara, mamakara, raga, dvesha, too much of attachment, too much of hate will reduce. It is called in Sanskrit dushta chatushtayam. If it 4 reduces, you are flying, no problem at all. Ahankara, mamakara, raga, dvesha, reduction is required to get this Divya Sakshu, or you can say divine eye. Then you get this attitude. I don't own anything in this world, but I enjoy everything. I'm not the owner, but I'm the enjoyer experience of everything. I don't control anything. Anything on anybody I don't control. I'm not a controller. I am just a contributor. I just contribute. This two attitude, if you get, you got a Divya Sakshu, divine eye. With this attitude, my fear, hatred, anxiety reduces, and I'm able to see divinity in the world and enjoy. In our Rotary language, a reduction of conflict and increase of peace. This is where we are entering. Now, side topic, I'll not go deep. Sanjaya's description. Sanjaya is also having a video camera in his eyes and he is seeing whatever is happening and explaining to Dhritarashtra. That's not their topic. Sanjaya gives the description from verse 9 to 14 to Dhritarashtra, Vishwarupa, and describes Lord as having thousands of eyes and faces and legs and hands and thousands of ears, etc., 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 which we have seen in Vishnu Sahasranamam anyway, that kind of thing. Side apart. Vishwarupa Darshana, as I mentioned already, is an attitudinal change. A reduction of likes and dislikes is to reduce one's individuality or a private vision. They think, my view is like this, my view is like that. It is to be reduced. Therefore, learn to see every face as the face of the Lord, including your own face. Respect all the basic 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth, from which the whole universe is formed, as God. Think and respect every aspect of creation, both animate, inanimate, with life, without life. Try to respect everything as God. Arjuna gets this vision and goes through the Vishwarupa Darshanam with 3 types of emotion. These 3 types are going to give us lessons. Okay. Arjuna's description of Vishwarupa with the emotion of wonder, 14 to 22, verse 14 to 22, that is Ascharya, surprise, wonderment. Ocean or Niagara Falls are wonders for us, although it is just the water falling. It is as good as a cup of water in front of me. Niagara is nothing but, the sea is nothing but equal to cup of water. What we appreciate, we wonder why the sheer magnitude, size. So is Everest. I always say St. Thomas Mount around the corner is also a hill. Okay? But we appreciate Everest because of the size and magnitude. If we give a little time in our life to look at nature and its magnitude and appreciate the magnitude of nature, we can also visualize the Vishwarupa God. But we don't have time to do that thing. We are busy with our daily activities, problem solving, etc. And today's program, tomorrow's program, and I don't have time to look at the nature with its vastness, magnitude. No time. So I am not able to get the Vishwarupa Darshana because I have eyesight problem. So, oh Lord, Arjuna says, I see all gods and devatas in you. I see Brahma seated on the lotus. And I also see Lord Shiva's neck in the blue sky. We all see the sky and say it is blue. And Arjuna says, I see Shiva's Nilakanta in the blue sky. The thing, I see you everywhere. I see no beginning, no middle, no end at all in you. It is without a time concept. Oh Lord of universal form, I see no time, no space boundary. Beyond space, beyond time. I see all the things. This is Arjuna's Ascharyam, wonderment. You are supreme, imperishable. You are ultimate support of the universe. Your eyes are moon and sun. One eye, moon, one eye, sun. You see that in Tiruppavi, Sahasranamam, everywhere. All the devatas are entering you. Some of them are a little bit frightened and praying you with a joint forms. Sages utter the word peace, 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 shanti, 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 and praise you. All gods are looking at you with wonder. Now, suddenly things change. Now Arjuna goes to the second stage, fear. It is not, we don't look at it just as fear, an important lesson for all of us. Okay. For Arjuna, this wonderment, ascharya, soon gives way to fear as he seeing slowly God's feet is good and the stomach is good, shoulder is good, everything is good, 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 good. Then when he goes further, looks at the mouth of the God with a lot of fire in it, and people are getting into that. He comes to that stage when he sees Bhishma, Drona, the karma coming to an end, get into the mouth of God. So kind and passionate God, how can be so cruel and tough? Is swallowing everyone. Then the Lord presents this as an answer to Arjuna as Kala Tattvam. He says, I am Kala Tattvam. I will explain. The whole world is governed by time principle. That's the Kala Tattvam, concept of time. Kala, time, alone is responsible for Srishti, Laya, and also resolution. So this is what everything. This object is created on Monday. This is maintained on Tuesday. This object is destroyed on Wednesday. It's all time bound. Creation, resolution, everything is time bound. Kala Tattva. Look at the world with the totalistic view. Have proper glass, both right and left eye, have a proper glass so that you get a total view, totalistic view. Don't be choosy. It is a composition of pleasure and lesson, not pain. Here I'm not using the word pain, but of course Arjuna uses the word pain. The world is composition of two things: pleasure, 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 lesson, 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 lesson. There's nothing called failure, nothing called pain. We call it lesson. I learn, I learn, I learn. I get a pleasure or I learn a lot of things. That thing. See God in both, in everything, total macro. Lesson for all of us. Never see this part of the world is painful, that part of the world is pleasure. No, this is pleasure, that part is showing me some lesson. The thing. This is what Krishna is teaching for all of us. This will slowly reduce our conflict. If I don't see pain in that part, I take it as a lesson, my conflict reduces. I don't say, I like Mr. A, I hate B. No, that reduces. That increases the peace. They think this is the important lesson Krishna is teaching. Unable to understand this totality of God in both pleasure and pain, Arjuna raises a question. Arjuna is like all of us, still a junior, beginner. Krishna, I thought of you so wonderful and so kind. But seeing you like this, you seem to be a pain also. Who are you? Are you a pleasure or you are pain? Krishna answered, I am the mighty world creating and resolving. Creating, I'm not using the word destroying, resolving time principle. Kala Tattva. Think the Vishwa, the world, includes Kala Tattvam, and Kala Tattvam includes both sides of life, pleasure and pain. The Lord as the Kala Tattvam, who is responsible for both pleasure and pain. Learn to appreciate both of them as Ishvara Swarupa. Pleasure, I see Ishvara. Pain also I see as a lesson form of Ishvara. In verse 33, Krishna says, Arjuna, the prarabdha karma of all the people decide everyone's life. Prarabdha karma means the current karma with which we have taken this birth, the thing. Everyone's life, pleasure or pain or birth or death, etc., 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 are decided by the karma. As Kala Tattvam, I am not directly doing anything. I use you, he tells Arjuna, or anybody else as an instrument to get things done. Therefore, Arjuna, get up, fight the war, and do your duty as a king to protect the people and dharma. That's your job. You have to do your job. You are a policeman, you are a military. A military people, we cannot tell, oh, please, please don't touch anyone, don't hurt anyone. Please give flower to everyone and just dance. No, we don't tell. If somebody makes a mistake, finish them. That kind of thing. This is the philosophy of maintaining dharma, ethics. Everyone's destiny is already fixed by their karma. I am just giving karma phalan, that is karma phala data, giver of the fruits of your action. I am not doing blessing. I am not doing any punishment. You create a karma, you get a phalan. It is going through me. Like a bank account, bank manager is not giving you any money. It's your money, is just doing it like a courier. Arjuna's attitude slowly changed. Verse 35 to 46. Getting into the third emotion, bhakti. Slowly it's changing, not fully. The first emotion of Arjuna on seeing the Vishwarupa darshan was wonder. The next, fear. The last emotion is devotion, bhakti. Krishna tells Arjuna, you have to accept me in totality. Which means you have to accept the Lord as Kala Tattvam, totality, pleasure, pain, everything together. That means you have to learn to accept birth, growth, decay with the same feeling. Slowly do the thing. Is it easy? Difficult? Slowly do. Then only you can have the Vishwarupa Darshana, seeing God in both pleasure and pain. Otherwise, you'll see God only as a pleasure. In the temple where you get a Chakar Pongal as a prasadam, you don't see God in the pain, the thing. So this is the attitudinal change. Krishna is teaching Arjuna, Krishna is teaching us. Arjuna assimilate the idea a little bit, not fully. He says, no, difficult. And responds with the devotion. Arjuna does namaskara to Lord and says, though Arjuna finds Vishwarupa Darshanam is wonderful, he pleads with the Lord to remove the Vishwarupa Darshanam. Unseen this form before, I am overjoyed, but my mind is also perturbed with fear. Give me some more time to overcome this fear and emotion. I am an average human being. Arjuna says the thing. I cannot overcome fear in just like that. It will take time for me to understand, learn, assimilate, and do. So please remove this Vishwarupa Darshana and become a normal, my friend Krishna. Then Krishna becomes like this. From a Vishwarupa Darshana, tall, everything in him, and he is in everything, to a normal, simple Krishna with a lot of cows around him, with a flute and smiling face, with a pot of yogurt and all those kind of things. He becomes a normal cousin, friend, Krishna. Arjuna, I accept. I become normal Krishna to you. Okay. Then Krishna says, I'll withdraw your divine eye, Divya Sakshu. By removal of the divine eye, the object of Vishwarupa Darshana is gone. Krishna says, you are the unique vision of Vishwarupa only because of your devotion. The thing, even though you are immature, being a bundle of raga dvesha, over attachment and hate, you are a bundle of that thing. I still showed you my Vishwarupa form by setting aside your raga dvesha temporarily, because you are a good devotee, good cousin, good friend. I temporarily removed all your limitations and shown you this thing. I can understand your fear. No problem. I remove the Vishwarupa Darshana. So we are coming to the end of this chapter. Vishwarupa Darshana and Bhakti as a sadhana to merge into him. Vijnatu Bhakti, that is understand him, the relationship between us, and merge. To develop, preserve, and refine Bhakti. We need this thing. First you have to develop, and you have to preserve and refine the Bhakti in stages. In verse 55, Krishna gives a few suggestions. Become my devotee, at least for worldly benefits. Artha bhakta, mad bhakta. Please become my devotee first for your own personal worldly benefit. I want money. I want a college seat for my son. I want to buy a house. Okay, no problem. Please become a devotee. Dedicate all actions to me. Karma yoga, first step of karma yoga. Slowly, don't claim, I am doing. Don't say that thing, reduce it. Mat karma kriti. Then Bhagavan is karanam, the world is karyam. For my own security, let me rely on the permanent karanam and not the temporary karyam world. We always depend on the world, which is temporary. We forget God, who is permanent. We forget the permanent source and depend on the temporary world. Change slowly, slowly. Don't depend on the temporary world. Depend on the permanent God. Mat paramaha. Less dependent on world, which is karya, cause, which is the effect, which will free from attachment, will reduce your attachment. Give support and love to others. That is the real love. Give support and love to others. That is the meaning is love. Do not expect support and love from others. That's attachment. Giving love and support is love. Expecting love and support from others in return. I love you today, but you have to love me tomorrow. Oh, support me tomorrow. I support you today. I give you food today. You give me food tomorrow. It is attachment. Sangha varjita. That will spoil your life. Don't do that thing. I give love. I'm not expecting love from you. Sangha varjita. Arjuna, Krishna teaches Arjuna. Then free from hatred to anyone. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. These are all the Sanskrit words. Now, using bhakti as a tool, convert all your actions, God as the goal. In our context, take God as peace and happiness. I already mentioned the Swarupam of God is Sat Chit Ananda. If you put aside Sat and Chit a little bit, Ananda is the God Swarupam. So, see, God as the goal means Ananda, peace and happiness is my goal. That pure, pursue worldly activities, no problem. But subservient to God. Dedicate everything to Him. You will attain Him, means peace and happiness soon. With this glorification of Bhakti, the 11th chapter is over. Though it is Vishwarupa Darshana, ending with Bhakti, because the next chapter is Bhakti. Krishna always, the next chapter he will introduce a little bit in the previous chapter, last verse. We are entering the chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, simple 20 verse, but very, 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 very important verse. This is the summary of the total Vedas, the total Upanishad. Everything is summarized in this simple 20 verses, that kind of thing. Time to time, Krishna summarizing for us. Now, let us understand Bhakti is an integral part of all yogas. It is not an independent thing. I am doing Bhakti on Monday and Karma on Tuesday. No, I am doing Bhakti. It's an integral part. Even my breathing is Bhakti, that kind of thing. In chapter 7, Bhakti was divided into 4 steps. Bhavana based. That means attitude based. Artha Bhakti, to solve my existing problem. Arthartha Bhakti, for me to get the new material benefit. Vijnatu Bhakti, spiritual growth. God, I want to know more about you. Please tell me about you. That is the Vijnatu Bhakti or Jijnatu Bhakti, both. Then Jnani Bhakti, then what's our connection? I am connected to you. I am getting liberated from the bonding and problem. That is Jnani Bhakti. In chapter 11, Vishwarupa Bhakti was highlighted, divinization of the world as a kind of preparatory. In chapter 12, 5 levels of Bhakti, sadhana based, action based, will be covered from verse 1 to 12, and Swarupa of the ultimate Bhakta will be shown from 13 to 20. The thing. So, contents are Arjuna's question in verse 1 and Krishna's answer, verse 2. In question is, which type of Bhakta is superior? I am superior or the other guy, my neighbor is superior? This kind of question. Arjuna always asks this question. The thing. Then stages of Bhakti, 3 to 12, Swarupa of Jnani Bhakta 13 to 19, glorification of Bhakti is verse 20. Fast, I'll go fast. Topic 1. Arjuna's question to Krishna in verse 1. Dear Krishna, who is superior Bhakta? Is it Saguna Ishvara Bhakta, including the Vishwarupa Ishvara Bhakta? In the beginning, Saguna Ishvara, Ekarupa Ishvara, Vishwarupa is a God with form and attribute. Is he superior or Nirguna Ishvara Bhakta, Jnani Bhakta, what you're seeing in the previous chapter, Akshara Brahmayo Bhakta, that is the guy who is Nirguna Bhakta, Arupa, Nirguna, and all those kind of things. Is he a superior? Krishna is giving a satisfactory answer to Arjuna in verse 2. Saguna Ishvara Bhakta, the junior student, kindergarten student, who has a steadfast devotion upon me, is superior. Krishna says, more than the doctorate student, the kindergarten student or first standard student is superior to me, according to me. To encourage a beginner, to encourage somebody to join the school in first standard. Unless you join first standard, where are you going to do the doctorate, master, and all those kind of things? So he says the first class student or kindergarten student is very important to me, is superior to me. Okay, please understand this correctly. They cannot be compared in real terms. You can never compare first standard or postgraduate. Even a postgraduate, you have to go through first standard anyway. The thing, no comparison. In fact, bhakti is not a single step sadhana like our school, first standard, second standard, fourth standard, fifth standard, etc. Bhakti is also, in fact, element of bhakti is in every action we perform. And in this chapter, bhakti will be shown in 5 steps. The thing, standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, 4, 5, etc. Which everyone has to go through. You cannot say, I'll go to standard 5 directly. No, you have to go through all this. So Krishna says, first standard student is my favorite, to encourage somebody to join the school. Right. Bhakti is divided in 5 steps. Sakama Karma Yoga Bhakti, first step. Action with selfish interest. I am doing all action for my personal or family benefit. I don't care about others. First step. Second is Nishkama Karma Yoga Bhakti. Action without selfish motive. I will also earn for my family, but I will also give it to others. Second step. Nishkama Karma Yoga Bhakti. Karma Yoga is dividing. Okay, Sakama, Nishkama. Then Upasana is also dividing 3 and 4. Ishta Devata Upasana. I am meditating upon baby Krishna, who is my favorite god. Only baby Krishna, Rama, or Hanuman, or Devi, or whatever may Ishta Devata. I am meditating only upon that Ishta Devata, not anything else. The thing. Then grow. Vishwarupa Upasana Bhakti. Meditate on God as the totality. And that also Saguna, with God, with form and all the things, totality world, which we saw in the last chapter. First 2 are Sakama, Nishkama, Karma Yoga. 3rd and 4th are Ishta Devata Upasana, Vishwarupa Devata Upasana. 2 steps of Upasana. Finally, Jnani Bhakti, Nirguna Ishvara Upasana Jnana. First standard, second standard, Karma. 3rd and 4th standard, Upasana. 5th standard, Jnani Bhakti. In this chapter, Krishna starts the verses from level 5. He assumes, since we have done already 11 chapters, we are in the 5th standard, he assumes. So he's starting from 5th standard. Then when he says, sorry, I don't follow what you say, okay, I'll go to the 4th standard. Verse 3, 4, 5, level 5 Bhakti. 6, 7, 8, level 4 Bhakti. Verse 9, level 3 Bhakti. Verse 10, level 2 Bhakti. Verse 11, level 1 Bhakti, standard 1. Okay, now verse 3, 4, 5, level 5 Bhakti, Nirguna Ishvara Upasana, Jnani Bhakta. This Bhakta meditates upon indefinable, unmanifest, all-pervading, immovable, changeless, eternal Brahman. Nirguna Arupa Brahma Bhakta. He has sense control, even-minded, interested in welfare of all beings. This bhakta slowly learns that the distance between God and me is not caused by the space and time. There's no space between us, not 20,000 kilometers away from me. No, not million kilometers away from me. It is created by my ignorance. I think there's a distance. The one and only remedy to remove this ignorance is knowledge, jnana. This step is very difficult for those with body and world attachment too much. Very difficult, the thing. Then what to do? Okay, go to 4th standard. You are not fit for 5th standard, go to 4th standard. Then 6, 7, 8, level 4 bhakti, Vishwarupa Ishvara Dhyana. Sagun. See the whole universe within me and see me in every being and thing in the universe. Sarvam Brahmamayam. Learn to see that thing. Keep me as your ultimate goal. Dedicate all actions unto me. Meditate upon me with undivided attention. Create emotional bonding upon me. Approach me intellectually with clear understanding of Paraprakriti. Go to chapter 7 and see. Paraprakriti is a God, superior God. It's not the matter principle, it's a conscious principle. Okay. Eventually, you will dwell upon me alone. He says to level 4 bhakta. Then the bhakta looks a little bit understandable. Okay. Then you go to level 3 bhakti, Eka Rupa Ishta Devata Upasana Bhakti. If you cannot see the whole universe as God, or see God as the whole universe, you are not broadened your view. You have got eyesight problem. You cannot see the side. You can see only what is in front. The thing. I got only 20-degree vision. If there's a traffic coming on the right and left side, 90 degrees, I cannot see. Problem. Then no problem, no problem, no problem. Then meditate upon Eka Rupa Ishta Devata. Like Rama, Krishna, Devi, you please meditate. No problem. At this level, God means Rama or Krishna or Devi, a finite form. Only that form. There is no God other than Krishna. Only Krishna is God. Rest are all just nothing. That kind of attitudinal problem. In this meditation also, pray for welfare of the entire universe. Learn. First ask for everything for me, but also second ask, give everything to everyone. That kind of thing. Learn. Be ready to evolve, transcend the levels of bhakti. I am with you always. I will push you up. I will help you. No, sir. I am going to standard 2. Sorry. If you are unable to come to the level 3 bhakti, no problem. Go to level 2. Nishkama form of bhakti. That is, dedicate or no upasana. I am going to only karma yoga. Dedicate all works unto me and take the result as my prasada. Convert the karma into karma yoga. Reduce the selfish interest goal. Work for the welfare of the humanity. I can see bhakti in your work, in your upasana, and in your knowledge. I can see whatever you do, I can see bhakti. You are dedicating actions to me. Take the results as my prasada. I can see your bhakti in it indirectly. So I want you to have the same way of seeing me in all. I see you in all your activities. You also see me in all your activities. Make work as worship. I am doing my job. I'm not going to temple. I'm not doing bhakti, nothing. I'm doing my work. Convert the work into worship. That's also difficult. Okay, no problem. Go to kindergarten or standard 1. If you cannot do all actions for the benefit of the world, no issue. Don't worry. Don't worry. Do it for yourself and your family. Start from that. But do only ethical, right action. Let your actions not hurt or harm others. Do work with restraint, self-control. Remember me all the time, even when you are doing work for your selfish interest. You think, I am doing for my own house building or car buying, still keep me in mind. Learn slowly to focus on the work and not too much on the result. Because unless you focus on the work, it will not be efficient. If you keep on looking at the results, the work will be a kind of less efficient. It will fail. Focus on the work when you are working, not too much on the result. Learn slowly that you are working as my instrument. That means convert karma, start with karma, convert that to karma yoga, that kind of thing. Then, summarizing in verse 12, knowledge is superior to meditation without knowledge. Meditation with knowledge is superior to mere knowledge. Actions with renunciation, with the detachment of result, which means karma yoga, is superior to meditation. There is peace after renunciation. In other words, when you start your karma yoga, the first step, standard one, itself, when you do karma yoga in the right way, you start getting peace of mind. Our objective, you get peace of mind, reduction of conflict and increase of peace, you get from stage one, from class one itself. You don't have to be a master's degree or doctorate. You join the school, kindergarten, class one itself, you do get peace and happiness. Here Krishna says, even the lowest form of karma, sakama karma, as the best according to him. Because you are using your free will and entering the path of bhakti. The child is using the free will and joining the school. Yes, I've joined the school. So encourage the child to join the school. Somebody who is beginning, then only you get a growth. Start somewhere to grow further. Encourage the starter, then they grow. If they don't start, where's the question of growing? 13 to 19, there are a lot of virtues of the Jnani Bhakta, the fifth level. I'm just saying a few things just for our understanding. He is, out of 34, 10, 15 I mentioned, he is a non-hater, is friendly, compassionate, free from my notion, free from I notion, equanimity in pleasure and pain, endurance, tolerance, contented, okay, satisfied, self-control, firm self-knowledge, devotion, tranquil. It does not disturb the world, nor being disturbed by the world. That's very important. Summarizing the whole thing, I am not doing anything for fulfillment. I am doing everything with fulfillment. This is what he gets. I am not doing this to get happiness. I am doing this with happiness. Concluding. Chapter 12. All above qualities are disciplines required for assimilating the self. Following these disciplines alone give me inner peace and happiness. If you start having the discipline, you get peace and happiness. You don't have to even go to standard 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Then I go through Jnana Yoga. Further, I'm talking graduation, post-graduation. And after assimilating this knowledge, these virtues, peace and happiness becomes my nature. In the beginning, they are virtues. The peace and happiness and these disciplines are my virtues. But then it becomes my own nature when you pass through the Jnana Yoga. The thing. These disciplines, peaceful mind, help the seeker absorb the teaching, retain the knowledge, and assimilate what you learn. In Tirukkural one line, Karka Kasadara Karpavai Katrapin Nirka Adarkitaga. Karka learn, Kasadara get rid of the doubt, Nirka Adarkitaga assimilate that knowledge. The thing. This is all mentioned. Tirukkural and Gita, one and same. The thing. The devotee who keep me as the primary goal, who pursue the righteous and eternal teachings as above are the dearest to me. This is what Krishna said. The end of this thing. The thing. Thank you. Have a peaceful and happy days ahead. And we have completed the 12 chapters. Pradama Shadgam, Madhyam Shadgam we completed. 12 out of the 18, 2/3 we have completed. Only 6 chapters are there. If we do two chapters, then March to April to May 2. We will complete in the first Sunday of May. We complete all the 18 chapters. Please go through that and have a very, very, very happy and peaceful days ahead. Any questions now you can ask.
Thank you, participants. For those who are listening, kindly type your question in the chat window so that we can address it serially. First question by Mrs. Balambal. Just hold on. Sir, you need to stop screen sharing so that we move
How
away.
do? Oh, okay, I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, please. Yes, Balamal.
Sallama.
Yeah, okay, time.
Yeah. I have two doubts. Maybe my ignorance, I'm not able to say it back. You were telling about that Vishwarupa, on seeing Vishwarupa, Arjuna had three feelings. First wonder, then fear, then devotion. But why he feared? Why he feared? Because, wonder is okay, but why he feared? That's one thing I would just like to know. And the second one is, he was stressing about knowledge. Lord was stressing about knowledge. What does he say about the wisdom part of it?
See, very good question. Always your questions are all thought-provoking to me, to everyone. The thing, the fear part is this. The thing, when Arjuna sees Vishwarupa Ishvara, the thing is starting from the foot, the beautiful feet of Krishna, leg of Krishna, the middle part of Krishna is all beautiful, nice. It is all, he sees and enjoys that thing. When he's looking at slowly up, lifting his eye, let's assume that Krishna is standing, let's say 1,000 feet tall, let's assume, looking like this, then slowly coming at the end to the mouth part of it. The thing, in the mouth, in Vishwarupa Ishvara mouth, you see there's a big fire in the mouth of Krishna, and all the people are finally getting engulfed in that fire and getting into the thing. Krishna, like I use simple word, Krishna is following everyone, the thing, including Bhishma, Drona, and all. His own grandfather, Guru, everyone is getting. And in fact, some part of Gita says, even Arjuna is also going to get one day or other into that mouth, that kind of thing. Then he gets fear. My God, hey, he's my grandfather. I don't want to see my grandfather getting into God's mouth and all those kind of things, getting fire. Oh, fine, I am going to get one day into his mouth. My God. See, I thought I'm going to enjoy life, the thing. And then getting into his mouth, it causes fear, the thing. But for us, the thing, that's the reason for his fear, because for your question. The fear, we take it this way. We see God as the universe, the thing. When I'm getting on Monday, I'm getting nice kind of thing, happy events happening, the thing, I am getting happiness. It is like seeing the foot of God, I'm getting happiness. Then Tuesday, I get some pain, some headache and shoulder pain and all those kind of thing. I get trouble, health problem. Let's use that word, the thing. I get pain and I see the problem side of the life. Yesterday I enjoyed, so beautiful, nice. And in one day, I'm seeing the painful side of life. The thing, this is the problem. That day, my friend gave me and came and helped me a lot. I saw the pleasant side. This person coming and giving me a lot of problem. I'm seeing the pain, that kind of thing. The meaning is, leg is pleasure, the mouth is pain giving to Arjuna. For us, the pleasure giving things are happy, we are welcome, and pain giving thing is a pain we want to avoid. So this is symbolic of the thing. World is composition of pleasure and pain. It is heat and cold, the thing. Okay, labam nashtam. So this is day and night. This is how it is going to be. The world is dvandam, both the two extremes of the thing. Whenever I say making a profit, what do you mean by profit? I'm not making a, there's another end is that law. I say it is hot. What do you mean by hot? The other end is cold. It is not cold. That is it. Whenever I see one word to express as an adjective, there is an opposite. Diametrically opposite is that the thing. I like this, but I don't like the diametrically opposite thing. That's what normal human tendency. But you have to take the whole world together, both the thing. If you want to see God as a world, then God has pleasure, God has pain. Then Krishna says, don't use the word pain. Don't see it as a pain. Don't see it as a failure. Take it as a lesson. Every failure is a lesson. I failed in such a thing today. But what does it mean? It's not a failure. I learned how I should not have done this thing, how I should have done that thing, how I could have done better. Take it as a lesson. You also need lesson. You succeed Monday, you learn lesson on Tuesday. Convert the pain into lesson. This is a pain part of it. Then your question about jnanam, knowledge, will come to that tomorrow with a prepared mind, with all the things from doing karma yoga and upasana yoga. Mind gets cleanliness, mind gets focusing ability. Karma yoga cleans my mind. Upasana yoga, the next 6 chapter gives me focusing ability. With that, I am able to see the God in the right way. The thing, when I see, I get the knowledge. The jnanam here in simple language, what is our relationship? He is my father, or he is my uncle or grandfather, or a friend, or he is my son, or is he what? The relationship, the thing. This already we mentioned here, we can see. When we say Rupa Mandal, you put it in another angle, another form. God is not somewhere in Vaikuntham, Kailasham, 10,000, 20,000 million kilometers away. He is in me. I am the creation of God. So he is in me. You can say he is in me or he is me. That is the relationship we will understand later. It is not God. It is me. He is in me. The thing. Like Bangle is asking what the relationship between gold lump and me. The gold says, come on, what are you talking? I am in you. Previously, I am in the form of gold. Now in the form of bangle. The gold is in the bangle. For a junior student who understand a little bit better, gold is in the bangle. If you become a little bit mature, gold is not in the bangle. Gold is bangle. The thing, God is in you or God is you. Depends upon our mental attitude. We can take, in different form. So that kind of jnanam, that will be spoken in the next 6 chapters. Then I am not worried at all. I am everything. I am Purna. That is it. The thing. That's what we said. I am not doing anything to get a fulfillment. I am doing everything with fulfillment. That comes when you understand he is in me. When he is in me, even before knowing he is me, he is in me, I am Purna. Kurayundrumillai. That kind of thing. That's the jnanam. We'll talk about that in the next 6 chapters.
Thank you.
Yeah. Upuji, I have one question. And meanwhile, while others are ruminating on your knowledge disposal, I have a question. I'm not able to see God in this world. The world is full of dirty things and people and dirty thoughts. Can you explain this anomaly? You say, no, you say world is God, universe is God.
We are all Arjunas. The same thing. He is not able to see the world in totality. He is able to see world in one side. I am getting happiness. That is fine. This person is giving me happiness. This food is giving me happiness. This instance is giving me happiness. Yes, good. I see God in that thing. That is making me sad. That's giving me pain. That is disturbing me. I don't see God in it. Somebody is coming and stealing, telling a lie. I don't see God in that thief. That's what we do. But the thing, very, very important thing is, world is the composition anyway. And God has created Then you may ask, why not God made everyone kind and good and then say noble and all the things? That's a very, very important thing in the creation is God made the world and gave us a book, manual of user manual book in the form of Vedas, is a user manual, the thing, and gave you full freedom to do what you want. I bought a TV, I got a user manual. I took the TV plug without reading the manual and put it in a 440 volts plug. The TV is burnt within 2 minutes because I didn't read it. I'm not doing as per the user manual. So everything is gone. Because I thought I have a free will to do what I want, I put it in the 440 volts instead of 220 volts. Everything is gone. That's what we are doing. We have a free will. We can do anything of our choice. Okay, there are limits, but okay, we have free will. Even when we are talking karma, I will not do the thing. Our total accumulated karma is there, Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma. Out of that, out of Sanchita karma of 1,000, 100 is mature. With that, I taken this birth. This is called Prarabdha. But I'm not completing the Prarabdha and leaving the world. I'm doing more karmas. That is called, I'm getting more karmas, producing more karmas. Every day is a keeping point. I'm doing more karmas. The thing that's called agami. That agami karma in our colloquial language is called free will, actions out of free will. That is my choice. I will do anything. Sometimes I know what is right, what is wrong. Still, I will do this thing. Sometimes I do without knowledge. With jnanam, without jnanam, I will do anything. So when I do anything, the things happen. Somehow I think I want to earn that the extra 1,000 rupees today. I have two options. I can work 3-4 hours extra in my office and earn, but I can also steal the 1,000 rupees in neighbor's house and earn that 1,000. I make a decision. I will not work, earn. I have no time to work. I want to enjoy, so I'll steal the money earned. So both are, I am using my free will, although I know the consequences. If I work hard and earn, I will enjoy. I will steal, I go to jail. The thing, I know the consequences, but I still do the thing. So it is composition of good and bad, pleasure and pain. It is a totality because it is out of our free will. Humanity's free will we do. We say, don't throw the plastic in the road, but we throw. We know the thing. If you ask somebody, they'll say, I am holding my master's degree in science. I know about all this kind of thing, but still throw the bottle in the street, still throw the paper in the street, still I spit on the road. I don't know what kind of infection I'm carrying, still I spit. You think that is what is the thing? We out of free will, we do. You are a good guy in one angle, you are also a problem maker in another angle. The world has to be a composition of two. We accept it as it is. Try to manage, survive. If possible, change. If it's not possible, don't bother. You change yourself to accept. Okay, I learned to go in a very good road, also a bad road. Very good road, I go very fast. Bad road, I go a little bit slowly, carefully. That is it. This is the world seeing both.
Oh, thank you, Rotarian Kuppu. I have another question from our Director of International Services, Rotarian Ravindran, who would like to know what is karma.
Karma, okay, true. Simple language, Sanskrit word is karma is action. All the action we do is karma. The action, what we do is three types. Physical action. Physically, I am going and delivering, let's say, like we do Kadapakam, taking 20 elbows and handing over to Kadapakam. That's a physical action. The thing. Then second one is the verbal action. Now, what I'm talking about Gita is a verbal Vasika karma. First one is Kayika. Second one is Vasika, that verbal action, the thing. The third one is mental action. All three are action. Physical, verbal, mental. The thing, mental action, sitting and praying, there should be a good weather. Everyone should be happy. We should finish this work very quickly. That one should be relieved from all this health problems. That kind of mental prayer is also mental best wishes. Everything is an action. Karma is an action. The thing that can be selfish, that can be non-selfish. That kind of thing. So that's all qualitative in definitions of karma. Karma basically action. Here in all the scriptures, when we say karma, karma we are including the benefit results of karma. Karma plus karma phalan. I am doing this is the karma. The result of that action is the karma phalan. The thing. So put together we use the word karma in all the scripture. You are getting the fruits of karma. Because of your karma, you are getting this problem. We always say. That is, there we use the word karma phalan. Karma phalan, we put them together and use that word as karma. The scripture says slowly convert that karma into karma yoga. Any action is karma, but karma yoga is the right action with the right attitude. Do the right action means beneficial to more people. When I do something only beneficial to me and family, it is karma. When I do action which is beneficial to 100 people, it is karma yoga, that kind of thing. Then with the right attitude, then I do the karma without I do the attitude, dedicate the karma to him and take the result as his gift. You may get the benefit, you may not get the benefit. You may get this much benefit, you may get only this much benefit. It all depends on many factors. I first thought it all depends only on my input. I am doing this, so the result should be like that. I did that, I worked 8 hours, I must get 1,000 rupees. But there are many factors which I don't know. External factors, the thing, they decide also the results of the karma. Therefore, karma phalan, I don't get disturbed. I work for 1,000, I got 100. Okay, I take it as his prasad. If we do that, not very spiritual learning and all, I'll be peaceful today. You think if I get 1,000, I go and eat in that big restaurant. If I get only 100, I go to Sangeeta and eat my vadai and all those kind of things. So both are okay. Both are giving me satisfaction, pleasure. So this is the attitudinal change in things. So this is the definition of karma and karma phalan.
He has got a follow-up question. I think you might have answered whether there is any control by any of us over karma.
Yes, as I mentioned, very right question. The past karmas, whatever happening to me today, this moment, is based on my past karma. Past karma may be what I did yesterday, what I did last year, what I did 100 years back, what I did 10,000 years back. Okay, it's all carried forward. The thing. But what I do today, the same logic goes, extrapolated. What I do today will give result tomorrow. So my today's experience is based on yesterday's karma, which I cannot change anymore. But my tomorrow's experience is going to be based on my today's karma. So by doing the right karma, I can change my tomorrow's experience. I can make it better. In simple language or doctor language, you can say, I ate a lot of spicy food, hot food, so I get a stomach pain. Today I took a cup of yogurt, so my stomach pain is reduced tomorrow. The spicy food creates a stomach pain. What I ate in the last 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, etc. Today's eating curd reduces my stomach pain tomorrow. So, agami karma, if I do it, yesterday's action gives my responsible for my today's result. My today's action is responsible for tomorrow's result. Or tomorrow's results depend on my today's action. So take care of your today's action so that tomorrow's results will be reasonable to you. So to reduce that stomach pain, take yogurt. Taking yogurt is agami karma, the future action, agami karma. Taking spice for the last 1 year is my prarabdham kind of thing, old karma, that kind of thing. So this is how karma can also control. You can control with your free will, and that control the result. The thing.
Thank you,
Kupu.
Rodin Kupu.
Arun,
Yeah.
Kupu,
Yes, tell me.
I just have, as a follow-up, to my earlier question. Hello, are you able
Tell me,
to?
tell me.
Oh, sorry. There is some disturbance here. Kupu, I just want to know, you said, we can control our karma, but aren't we dictated a lot by our circumstances, by people around us, by circumstances over which we have no control,
Yeah.
and that affects our actions and thoughts.
Oh,
So
definitely.
aren't we, without our knowledge, being subjected to karma, and
Yes.
then we have to suffer for that later,
100%.
or enjoy the pleasure?
Correct. Very, very right question, Ravi. When I said there are factors which are in our control, there are factors not in our control. The thing. So the karma result, agami karma, is what I am doing. But there are many factors which is not in our control. That kind of thing. Just I'm using this example in a lighter, funny sense. I said I take a yogurt, and then that solves my stomach pain. And then, but yogurt has got some kind of a wrong thing in that yogurt. The thing that created another problem for me. That kind of thing. So you can say like this. There are external factors that's got very, very big influence. The thing, because my action is only one person action. The external factors are 1,000 factors are there. See, for example, I have done very well for my math exam. Prepared 100% perfect. I am going to get 100 out of 100. The thing, ready. Monday is the exam. Monday morning, suddenly I fell sick. I am having severe fever due to some external reason. I cannot go to exam. I failed in the exam. From my side, I've done the best job. I prepared myself 100% perfect, but the external factors gave me fever. I failed. The result is a failure in spite of my best efforts to prepare for the exam. I prepared for a beautiful party in my rooftop. Krishna, don't mistake me. Good thing. And suddenly at 6 o'clock in the evening, heavy rain started. The party is cancelled. That kind of thing. So my effort is for the nice party for the evening, but external factors, rain, spoil the whole thing. So when we are doing the karma, the future karma, it is mine, but past karma's results, what we are getting, the external factors are becoming an instrument to give us the results. Like somebody comes and gives you, you made a wrong karma, you have to get a pain. The thing, that pain can be caused by your own action. Somebody else may also come and give a pain. Like Krishna tells Arjuna, you go and fight a war and take care of people. You are doing as an instrument. In the karma, phalan can come from yourself, and for your own action, it can come from outside also. The karma phalan, this kind of thing. That's why in all our prayers, we say Om Shanti thrice. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. The meaning is, give me peace from my own self-created problem. Please give me relief, peace from the external nature-created problem. Rain or sun or whatever external people or something. Please give me peace from Devatas creating problem. That kind of thing. Myself creating, external nature people creating, and Devatas. This is all added, the thing. That's why we pray. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 3 times we pray. Please give me relief, peace from not being affected from these 3 sources. Self, outside. Outside is divided as nature and people, and outside divided as the Devata, divine, that kind of thing. Even divine forces, please give me peace, that kind of thing. It can happen. Your question is answered.
So I think wisdom plays a big part in this.
No,
In our
if I can enter, if I can just for a minute, Kuppu, with your permission.
Yeah.
The external circumstance, you don't have a control,
Hmm.
but what you have a control is reaction to that control.
Yeah.
If you are able to control your reaction,
Yeah.
then it is fine. Then you are at peace at yourself.
Absolutely.
But
That is,
because of the external circumstances, you react, and then you lose peace, and then you say the external circumstance, I didn't have a control, so that's why I lost peace. So
that is,
you want inner peace, don't react. You don't have a control, but don't react. Why are you reacting? So most of the times I find that reaction causes a kind of a mental conflict within yourself and unhappiness.
100%.
Right, Kuppu?
So external things are controllable, non-controllable. Both are that external things. So we should understand. We should be wise enough to differentiate. If there's a small rain, an umbrella is controlling. I take an umbrella and still do my work. The thing. If it's a heavy rain and flood, okay, non-controllable. I stay back. So that's why don't react, respond. Reacting is emotional. Suppose somebody says, Kupu, you made a mistake. It's a foolish thing. Suppose they tell me, my emotional reaction is, how can you say I am fool? How can you say it is a mistake? I know better, that kind of thing. That's emotional. That will give a disturbance, problem. Then in separate, reacting, respond. Respond means use your intellect, emotion all together, wait for a while and say, yes, thank you very much for giving a suggestion that I know it's a mistake. I'll try to do it better. Next time, I'll avoid this mistake. I'll try to do it better. So don't react, respond. That will reduce your internal conflict to some extent, at least. No reaction, but responding. Responding is combination of emotional, rational. Reaction means immediately. You say something within 2 minutes. Shut up your mouth, don't talk. That's a reaction. That is always a problem. Responding is I'll take 2 hours, I'll take 2 days, use my ration also. I think this guy is right. When he said what I've done is wrong, what I said is wrong, yes, he's right. So let me be a little bit more careful. That kind of thing. So our results also based on our thing.
Okay.
Thank you, Kupu. I'm a bit wise.
I request Rotarian KVK to give a vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Arun.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm recognizing my friend Mr. Ramaratnam, who is always with us. And of course,
short video. Rotarian, Mr. Ramaratnam, we see you, but we can't see you.
Yes, we were together from the school.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
friendship for over 50 years, I would say.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
Fantastic.
I recognize his presence here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Suresh. I am trying to ask him to start the video, but
It's okay. Maybe next time.
And I don't know whether he is present or not, so he's not responding.
That's okay.
But he can convey
anyway,
over the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
I
Thank you,
request
Mr.
Rotarian KVK to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Suresh. I'm there.
Thank you, Arun. I think, first of all, let me thank our Guruji, Kupuswamy, continuing the best effort. And
yeah, Ramaratnam is on. Arun?
Yeah.
Arun, you can see Ramaratnam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ramaratnam.
Yeah, we can
thank you, Mr. Ramaratnam. And there was one user from Kolkata. I don't know, Kupu's relative or somebody. He didn't identify himself.
Yeah.
Samanthi
is there. Yeah.
Okay, good. So just I asked him, of course, he didn't reply. So a personal thanks to him from our side and Kupu's side also. All our club members and the invitees, friends, all of them, I'm thanking on behalf of this Prasanna Nagar, Rotary Club of Mr. Madras Prasanna Nagar. Thank you very much. We look forward to the next episode in the next month, March. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to the district peace building group. Without their effort, we cannot have all these programs. And there are some people who are logged in Facebook also. I just browsed through it. few or 4 or 5 people are there in the Facebook. Thank you, Kupu. Again, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Rotarian President Krishnan, can you adjourn the meeting, please?
Yeah. So as usual, very enlightening, and give him some kind of the path to wisdom and path to peace. So let this bring peace and happiness to all of us and resolve all conflicts within ourselves. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.